You guys are shooting yourselves in the foot by going for the virgin or the girl who doesn't have a high body count. You want a girl who's pure and who's only going to do filthy, depraved acts just for you and no one else. Dude, that's such a narcissistic way to think. What makes you think that this beautiful woman who has been saving herself is going to give all of that up just for you and not any other guy? That is the most narcissistic way of thinking any man can adapt. And if you can get over your little insecurity and your little jealousies and because it is all just insecurity, really, you'll quickly realize that sexually experienced women are a lot more relationshiply mature, okay, because they've had multiple relationships with multiple different people. So they've gained perspective on relationships. They've also satisfied their sexual need to be free, okay, in a sexual way. So when they do decide to commit to a faithful monogamous relationship, sure, maybe they will miss that sexual freedom, but they're definitely not going to regret not being able to do it. Okay, girls who have, dated the same fucking guy for 10 years and they've only had one relationship and they've only had sex with one guy. And, those are really the girls with the low body counts, is the ones that have been in long-term relationships. Those are the ones that have no experience of what men are really like. And those are the ones who, when they do commit to long-term relationships, there's always going to be this thing in the back of their heads that's like, oh, but what if I did do this? Oh, I wish I slept with more guys. I wish I got more experience. Unless there's some kind of sexual guilt there, then they're probably going to feel that. And also just generally, if you want to become more successful with women, this whole attitude of low body count is a must. I don't want a high body count girl. Dude, that is going to cut your chances down so hectically, okay? All of these guys that say, oh no, I only date girls with low body count and who are 10s, I'm a high value male, I only date high value women. You'll notice that those guys hardly ever get laid, bro. They hardly ever get laid because they don't want to be in the presence of women that they think is lower than their standard. They're saving themselves for the 10 out of 10 virgin who only wants them. And let's be real, bro, that fucking, how often does she ever show up in your life, bro? Hardly fucking ever. So here you come thinking that you are the perfect guy because that's what the game tells you to be. And that's the kind of mindset that the whole Sigma male operation wants you to think, that I'm the guy and I'm worth it and I can get any girl. And then you end up don't getting any girl, bro, because you're saving yourself for the perfect one. I mean, what bullshit, bro? That's just going to keep you celibate, bro. And that's just a way of kind of saying I'm voluntary celibate. I'm not having sex because I only have sex with good quality females. Like, bullshit, bro. Stop being a fucking liar. We're all men. We all know that if you had the opportunity, you would fuck any hot girl that came your way, regardless of her body count. If she gave you the right attention, you would jump right into bed with her. So stop fooling yourself. What it really comes down to is slut shaming, bro. You're slut shaming women for being sexually explorative. And the truth is, bro, if you are interacting with a female, the best thing that you can say to her is, I don't believe in sluts. I think that's a dirty word, and I think women should be able to express themselves and explore their sexuality as freely as men do, without judgment. If you drop a line like that in front of a woman, I can tell you now, she is going to feel 100 times more safer and more willing to explore her sexuality with you. Because now she knows that you are not going to judge her for wanting to fuck and for wanting to be fucked. Because the truth is, man, they are no different than us. Women are no different than men when it comes to sex. The main difference is that men are triggered by what they see and women are triggered by how they feel. But with regards to desiring sex, it's exactly the same. And dare I say, women may even want sex more than men. Men pursue sex more than women do, but that's only because women don't have to pursue at all. All they have to do is sit back and look pretty and present availability, and the sex will come to them. But make no mistake, women love to have sex. That's another difference in men. Men like to fuck. We want to fuck. Okay? But women love sexuality. They love sex. They love romance. They love sexual romantic relationships. For them, there is this deeper layer of sex that men don't always tap into. Because women are triggered by how they feel, there is this deep underlying emotional layer to a woman's sexuality that is different from a man's. You know, a man is more than happy just to put it in and fuck away and feel the titties and put his hands all over the woman. Man's satisfied with that. But a woman is only satisfied, really satisfied, when she feels genuine connection, real emotional stimulation, real psychological stimulation. That's when a woman gets really turned on. Bro, we are all animals, man. We are all human beings and we all want to fuck each other. And this whole big fucking stand on your high horse moral compass bullshit with body count is just really, that is fucking AFC shit, bro. That's average frustrated chump shit, bro. That is simp shit. That is simpy bullshit, bro. You know, all you guys say, well, I have standards. I'm not going to be with a girl who's for the streets. Okay, bro. Then stay single. Don't get laid. Because I can guarantee you not getting laid. I promise you're not getting laid. You know, when I started dating chicks and I started hooking up with chicks, I didn't have any standards. I didn't set in my mind, right, I'm only going to have sex with these kinds of women. I had no standards. I would sleep with any girl that I found attractive. If I found her sexually attractive and I wanted to sleep with her, you know, I would converse with her, flirt with her, get to know her, build attraction with her, and sleep with her. I would never say things like, well, this girl's too overweight for me, I don't want to sleep with her, or oh, this chick has too many piercings and looks like an eagle, I don't want to sleep with her. I didn't give a fuck about any of that shit. Never cared about any of that stuff. Okay? All I cared about was, am I attracted to this female? Do I get along with this female? Is it a good vibe? Is it a good energy? Are we flirting well? Is there sexual attraction? And if there was sexual attraction, then absolutely I would go for it. And I wouldn't care about standards. Because honestly, the whole idea of standards is fucking shallow, bro. Yes, have boundaries. Have boundaries in a relationship. Don't allow yourself to be abused. Don't allow yourself to be lied to. Don't allow yourself to be manipulated. There you have to stand up for yourself as a male. And that is when you say, nope, I'm not going to engage in this relationship. I don't want to be with you. That is when you can stand up and say that. But if you are going to deny yourself sexual relationships with females based on these stupid fucking societal standards, I mean, you are just shooting yourself in the foot, bro. You are missing out on a plethora of incredible, beautiful female diversity that is out there, bro. Beautiful female diversity. All kinds of women from all kinds of backgrounds that you get to talk to, flirt with, get to know, experience, share moments with, have sex with. And it's beautiful, man. It's a beautiful thing to be able to know women in that way. You know, for me, and I have a very high body, you know, like, shouldn't say that, but I do. I mean, I have a high body count, and it's because I enjoyed having sex with females and women. And, you know, it's, and I didn't care where you came from. I didn't care what your background was. I didn't give a fuck what you did. You know, like, I didn't care how many guys you fucked that night. I honestly couldn't give two shits. You know, if I'm into you and I'm attracted to you and we're vibing, then why not let nature take its course, bro? You see, what's happening these days is that women are becoming so much more independent, bro. They're becoming more independent. They're climbing to power. They are taking seats of power in the social dynamic. And a lot of these guys that don't know what they are doing can't handle it because of the massive rejection that they are feeling. Women are just not interested in a man's bullshit anymore. And let's be honest, guys, if we've been to the bar, we all know that men are full of cringy shit, bro. Men don't know how the fuck to talk to females. They don't know. So they end up saying this stupid, cringy stuff that they think is going to work, bro. For a man, okay, going to a club and trying to pick up girls is like fishing, bro. That's how it is for most men. It's like fishing. If I try this might work. If I try this bait, maybe it will bite. And that's how a lot of men perceive picking up women in the bar. And the right attitude is going out there and saying, you know what, I can't wait to go out and talk to and have conversations with and connect with a whole bunch of beautiful, flirty, attractive women, you know? Just to be in their presence, just to be part of that social interaction is so fulfilling for me as a male because now I'm in a social position that is being fulfilled. I'm in a social evolution from an evolutionary perspective. I'm in a social position where I'm being evolutionarily fulfilled because I'm being accepted by beautiful women and they're flirting with me. And I can see they want to fuck me because I'm attractive. And I'm attractive because I'm not centered around sex all the time. I'm centered around just having genuine, funny, casual moments, bro, with another human being. Okay, guys go in too hard, bro. They come in too sex orientated. They come in too flirty. And immediately the woman knows, he's just trying to get into my pants. You don't trigger any feeling in that woman. Okay, you just expect her to want to fuck you back because you want to fuck her. And that's not how it works, bro. A woman's attraction needs to be triggered. Okay, a woman can't, maybe if the guy's super, super hot. Yes, a lot of women will just fuck for looks, for sure. The same way we do. But a lot of the time, it's about how that guy makes a woman feel. You can have a 10 out of 10 guy. You can have a Henry Cavill standing in front of a woman. And if Henry Cavill does one wrong move that gives that woman the ick, it doesn't matter how good looking that guy is, she won't sleep with him, no matter how hot he is. Because it's based on how they feel. So if you can create a space in which women feel safe to talk about their sexuality, safe enough to express their sexuality, and a space that is fun, okay, fun and free without judgment, I can guarantee you now, man, you are going to become a king with women because that is the kind of environment women want to be in. They want to be with a guy who isn't going to judge them and who's going to give them a fun time. Women, especially when they go out to the club, they want to have fun experiences. They want to have memorable experiences. And so you want to be the guy that is fun, that is hard to forget, that is different from the rest. If you can become that guy, bro, then you've won. Okay? And there's a lot of different methods and a lot of different practices that you have to undergo in order to make that shift. But one of the major shifts I must urge you now is to get away from this fucking puritan mindset. I only want a good Christian woman who has a body count less than 3. Anything over 5 is too much. And, must be completely faithful to me, and must only do freaky, depraved shit with me because you want to do freaky, depraved shit. Okay? As a man, you want that girl to act like a slut, but you only want her to act like a slut for you. And that is narcissistic, bro. That's a narcissistic mindset. And that's going to cut you short big time out in the field. Instead, you got to drop all that shit, drop the standards, and just see women as they are. See them as people, as human beings, not as these goddesses to be worshipped on pedestals or, these things that are going to determine whether you're chosen or not. Just see them as fucking people. And in the first few minutes of the conversation, don't flirt at all. Just make it a fun, interesting conversation. That will get a woman in every single time. If the conversation is fun and engaging and non-sexual. Because as soon as it gets too sexual too soon, they will pull away because they feel unsafe. Because they can feel that your intention is just to fuck them. Okay, and a woman doesn't just want to be fucked by some random guy. She wants to be fucked by a guy that she connects with. She wants to go out to the bar and meet a guy that she connects with and feels comfortable enough to have sex with. That is what a woman is truly seeking. If you want to be successful with women, you have to change your mindset towards women. You cannot see them as these sluts that just fuck around and, if you live in that mindset, you're just going to carry on being the pathetic, sexless loser that you've always been. Instead, you have to confidently rise above that mindset. Be confident in your masculinity. Be confident in your sexuality. A man who is confident in his sexuality would never demean another human being for being confident in theirs. And there it is, man. There it is. If you are really confident in yourself, sexually, then you will appreciate it when a woman is confidently sexual in herself, with her sexuality. But if you are insecure in your sexuality, then you will constantly live in this world of insecurities. Okay, and you'll say these things to support your insecurities. You'll say things like, I only go for tens. I only go for traditional tradwife material women. I don't go for any other woman except for this kind. We have fallen so badly into stereotypes, bro. It's so bad. And it's fucking social media's fault, I'm sorry to say. The human being is so diverse, and there are so many different kinds of people out there that we can share experiences with. And by having that closed off, insecure mindset, you're cutting yourself off from all of that. So I'm going to say that one-liner again, and I can tell you now it's absolute gold. I don't believe in the word slut. I think it's a dirty word. I think women should feel free and safe enough to explore their sexuality any way that they want, without judgment, without being called names. Play around with the wording, make it sound neat and clear. But if you just drop that message and you get that message into a woman's head, I'm telling you now, bro, you're going to turn into the guy that she feels safe with to explore her sexual side with. That's the kind of guy you're going to turn into.